sir, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squelly, and we are back at it with another Forza Horizon build video, man. So if you guys were tuned into last week's video, you will have known that we did a build on the Impala SS, probably one of my favorite Chevys. You know, in the sedan family, I guess we'll say. This right here, probably one of my favorite Chevys of all time. That Corvette, you guys know me. Well, if you know me, I had an Impala. I was a racer. I went ahead and painted the tail lights with the round ovals and threw a Corvette logo on that mofo, if you can believe that, man. Videos are out there somewhere. You have to search my other channel, youtube.com/Denali. Actually, if you put in and search Impala Corvette taillights, chances are my video will be one of the first ones to pop up. But we're not talking about my racer pass today. In today's video, we are taking care of building that Impala SS police car. Now, I decided to do 2 videos in a row with this car. For one, I'm planning on selling it relatively soon after I make this video. Now, I would say let's do an auction, but truth be told, these cars sell really quickly, and they sell for a lot of money. I actually had to buy this one right here, this specific car, for 9 million credits. You'll notice I only have 3.3 million left. That's because I went out and bought this car. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do after I record this video is probably throw this thing up for auction and, you know, try to recoup a little bit of my money back off of this bad boy. But for today's video, we are going to be building this into a Impala SS Police Interceptor. Now, this car, as with the Crown Victoria, very popular cars on YouTube, so I just wanted to, you know, dip my finger in that pot just a little bit here by making a couple of builds with this car. So what we're going to do, I think, is stick with that 5.7 liter. Now, even though factory, this engine is a complete dog, I still think with a couple minor bolt-ons, we're going to call it an ECU tune and an exhaust, just like the police use. I think we can kind of wake this thing up and make it relatively fun to drive. So what we're going to do is just take care of some of the aesthetics. Now, obviously, that front splitter is going to be a no-go. Obviously, that spoiler lip also going to be a no-go. But if we go ahead to side skirts here, add those up, you're going to see we have those police lights. Well, you can barely see it. Now, one of the funny things that I've always said after seeing this car done as a police interceptor, you've got some very modern LED lights here, which would probably look better on the Crown Victoria, whereas the Crown Vic has like kind of some old school looking lights that you wouldn't really see on such a modern vehicle as opposed to the 96, when not the Impalas, but the Caprices were actually used as police cars. But now what we're going to do is go ahead and take care of tires. Now, on the last build, we were doing kind of a, I don't know, kind of a donk-looking Impala. So what I think we're going to do for this one is do more of a performance-oriented Impala. We're going to go ahead, upgrade those tires and the diameter, which is something that I didn't do on my last build, just to make this thing perform a little bit better. Obviously, we're going to have to change these wheels because the police, they don't use alloy wheels. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can find something that looks like a Steely for this car. And I think these 1552s right here, Forza editions, probably going to be our best bet. Now, we do have a couple of other options, but to be honest, these ones just look the most like Steelies with a little bit of a center kind of bevel in the middle, which is something that, in my opinion, looks more like Steelies than any other wheel here. Rim diameter, we're going to leave the same, and the offset, we are going to go ahead and leave the same as well. Now, when it comes to the drivetrain, we're going to go ahead, upgrade that clutch. Even though this car, as most of you know, does not come in manual, it actually comes with that old 4-speed automatic. We're also going to install a transmission here just so we can get those extra couple of gears and really tune this thing to make it rip nice, because I don't think we're going to put entirely a lot of power into this car. And now what we're going to do, upgrade those brakes, upgrade the suspension. Nothing too serious, just lower it a little bit. This thing doesn't have to be adjusted as far as the fully adjustable coilovers go. It's just going to need to look a little bit lower than it does factory. Now, this thing looking like a straight up Caprice with those hubcaps. Let's be 100% honest. You put white walls on that thing. Damn, I think we were back in like 92 or 93, man. So now for upgrades, intake and exhaust. And what I think we're going to do, the last one we did cams and a supercharger. I think we're just going to do a few mods to kind of replicate putting the police chip in here. As you can see, the fuel system we're going to go ahead and upgrade. The ignition we're going to go ahead and upgrade. Not giving us entirely a lot of power. We're going to go ahead, build the block out, as well as do some piston rings on here, pistons and compression. Now for those of you guys who know, the police package on most cars isn't that much. It doesn't give you a lot of horsepower. One thing I do know is they do upgrade the oil and cooling, so that's going to be something that we're going to go ahead and do. But these cars just don't have a whole lot of power in the police package form. So for this one, we're going to keep with that aspect and just, you know, try not to put too much power into this car for now. Now we are going to go ahead and tune this ever so slightly. The gearing, we're going to do the same thing that we did with our last gearing. We're going to push this a little more towards the acceleration side as opposed to the max speed side, because there's very little roads in Forza where you can actually max out a vehicle like this. Now alignment and springs, we don't get to change anything because obviously we don't have the better suspension on here, but we are going to go ahead, upgrade that differential just a little bit, hopefully give us a little more grip, a little more launch with this low horsepower tune that we have on here. Now we're going to go into designs and paints, and here is where we are going to go and search for a vinyl group, find new designs. I'm going to look for something that is specific to this police car. We are just going to type in police here and hopefully get an abundance of police skins or wraps, I guess you could say, to choose from. And I am not disappointed. Plenty of very modern. We got the NYPD. For those of you guys who know, I'm in Canada, so an OPP police skin would be probably perfect for me, but I'm thinking NYPD just to keep things, you know, a little different. I think I did an OPP build not that long ago. I think we're probably going to go with an NYPD build. We got that old school UK. Probably never see an Impala with a police skin in the UK like that. There you can see that OPP build right there, but I think we're going to travel back here to the very beginning. Now this NYPD skin right here, I kind of like a little bit more than this one. The only problem is the wheels are not painted black. Oh, I see that RCMP right there. Oh, wait a second, that's a Swedish Thunder. Okay, that's, you know, weird flex, but okay. But what I think we're going to do is go with this one right here, that FHPD NYPD design. I'm not really sure if that was the guy's username or what this specific design was called, but we're going to go ahead, install it on our Impala. I almost called it a Crown Victoria, but it's not. I would have probably got flamed in the comments section for that. And now that we got that out of the way, we're going to go ahead, take this thing out on the road and see what our chipped, modified NYPD Cruiser can do. Now, not a whole lot of power to spin the back wheels and get the ass end swinging out, which surprises me because it is raining, but that is kind of a good thing because when you're driving a police car, truth be told, grip's kind of important, man, and this thing is riding like it's on rails. Getting a nice little top speed run going on this straightaway. This thing is actually ripping pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. Now those wheels, I'm not sure if we can turn the wheels off here. We're gonna actually go ahead and turn the music off for sure. Disable head to head. Doesn't look like Anna can help us out. That's for the camera. That's definitely not it. If I'm not mistaken, I think
head to head disabled.
The horn does it? No, it looks like those lights are just on. We're in 5th gear. So we're gonna go ahead, just take this thing for a little bit of a cruise. Now, as you can see, from a dig, not very impressive, but let's be honest, most police cars, they have a lot of top speed, not much acceleration. So it might be a little difficult for this thing to catch a lot of cars in Forza Horizon, but let's be honest, in real life, most cars, I mean, there's a lot of fast cars coming out nowadays, but most people that these things are pulling over, they're just driving little Corollas, Honda Civics, getting caught for 20 over. If you got a fast enough car, you could probably outrun one of these things relatively easily, but as far as the handling goes, this thing is handling really nice, especially since the ground's a little bit wet. I'm gonna go ahead, pull out onto the street here. Riding on the left-hand side of the road, which you might not see another police car do in the real world. Are we taking the exact same route that we took in our last video? How boring is that? Let's switch this up and go the other way. We just got the perp. He's heading westbound. Let's get him. Is this west? No, this is northbound. He's heading northbound. Roger Dodger. All the way up to red line. This thing just making a lot of power. Now, one thing that really woke this car up, in my opinion, is adjusting the transmission. Getting those 2 extra gears and being able to adjust exactly how fast this thing accelerates. You know, in its stock form, the transmission was probably the one thing that was holding it back. I might be interested to go back and put the engine completely back to stock and just upgrade that transmission and see how much acceleration we actually gain. But this thing is staying planted to the road. It's not going anywhere. We're taking these corners 200 kilometers an hour. This thing isn't even breaking a sweat. Pulling up to about the top of 5th gear. I don't know if we're going to be able to get into 6th gear and accelerate anymore here. Got a big turn coming up here. No problem. Like it is on rails, man. That's what I like to see from a car like this. When you got low horsepower, you really need to make up for it in other places. And to be honest, grip is one of those places. This thing's absolutely flying. That big Impala just not even budging for that signpost. What an absolute gem this thing is. About 230 is as high as we've gotten it up to. Got somebody pulled over on the side of the road here. About to chase him down, give him that speeding ticket. Hitting that e-brake, just getting her a little bit sideways. Yeah, this right here, if you guys want a nice handling car, Impala that is just, you know, hugs like it's on rails, I'd say this is the build to go. Maybe you could add a little bit more horsepower, but then it might be a bit of a handful when it comes to, you know, the launch and taking off and stuff like that. But it handles like a dream. You point it where you want it to go. It absolutely goes in that direction. Like you can see the back end just staying completely where you want it to be. Which for drifting, probably not the greatest thing in the world. But navigating these tight corners, it makes a huge difference. Damn, I just want to drive this thing all day. But we've driven, I think, probably enough for today's video. So we're going to go ahead, pull off to the side of the road here. And as we often do around this time, take our screenshot for our thumbnail. Now this thing probably a little bit out of its element here in the UK. Britain, I believe, is where this is. This game is pretty much stationed, or you know, located, whatever you want to call it. However, this car, an absolute gem, just a complete classic in my opinion. And in its police form, looks like we're ready to bust some perps out here, man. Breaker 19. Oh, sorry, that's a trucker's term, not for the police. Alpha, Nancy, Yokel, Peter, David, NYPD build up in here is what we're gonna call this one. But as always, I'm thinking we're probably gonna put an end to this video. You know, you guys can only listen to your boy blabbing on for so long before it's just like, what is this guy even talking about? I am your boy Denali, aka Don Squalia, talking about a lot of stuff, but as always, I am your boy. I just said my name. What comes next? Subscribe, like, Comment. Let me know what build you guys want to see next. And as always, we're going to catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Don't die. Oh, shit. Where you going, bro? Don't be creeping on my friend. Don't be creeping on my friend. You and your homie. Oh, nut shot. Nut shot. Oh, buddy. Go. And your boy, man. Get him out of here. Oh, fucking. Oh, my God.